Hey guys, it's Boomer.
And Pixie, hola.
We are here and so excited to be brand ambassadors for Reaper Apparel Company. We could not be more proud to have joined their roster and get to promote their brand and whole community.
Just like we have battled anxiety and depression, so have the folks at Reaper Apparel Company, and they know the present is not something to be wasted.
Yeah, it's all about trying to be the best version of ourselves every day and making our dreams come true, like we are here at the Service Entrance People podcast, and the folks in Reaper are too. So please join the Reaper community, check them out, go to reaperapparelcode.com, use the coupon code Service Entrance People to get 10% off your gear, plus check the links in the episode description, our Facebook and Instagram to get 15% off as well.
That's reaperapparelco.com, promo code Service Entrance People.
You got to make a reservation. It's very difficult to get in.
Well, it's okay. I'll use the service entrance. I'll see you at 9.
Welcome
And bienvenidos
to another episode of Service Entrance People. I am Boomer.
And I'm Pixie, hola.
Hola, Pixie. For those of you who are new to the show, just jumping in, this podcast is for and about the gritty, underpaid, underprivileged service industry workers of the world.
Unite.
We have clearly made some wrong turns in our lives because no matter what, we have ended up here in jobs where no matter our talents, our arts, our skills, we end up dealing with the infamous Karens and Florida Men's. And Mr. and Mrs. Von Uppity on a daily basis. Day in and day out, we walk through the parking lot of broken dreams and enter through that specially marked door. You know the door.
The service entrance door.
Yeah, that door. If you're interested in listening and sharing in the war stories of the industry, or if you're curious as to what us,
the help,
are really thinking, we are going to share with you stories of the strange, shocking, and hilarious, because laughing is the only way that we know how to make it through.
Absolutely. This industry is one that we've come to truly love, and although you will hear horror stories, rants, and us bitching that we actually do need to work at work, well, there's nothing in the world we would rather be doing except maybe
this here podcast.
Correctamundo.
And winning lots of money in the lottery.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Also, please do us a favor. If we're not for you, you know what? Listen anyway.
Hate listen, rage listen, binge listen.
Because science has proven the one thing that we all know for sure. The only thing better than a good horror movie is a terrible fucking horror movie. Yay.
Let us be that terrible horror movie.
There she goes. To make it simple on you, just push play.
And walk away.
Let your pet's continuing fascination with our podcast evolve over the weeks, okay? I should add one final disclaimer to all of this mix, is that this show, like the industries we cover, comes with some spicy fucking language.
Ay, 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 muy caliente.
You've been forewarned.
Fuego.
As you're doing nice things for us, as you're listening and liking and subscribing to us, there are 3 things we would really like you to focus on this week. And that is sharing, rating, and reviewing. 5-star review. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 stars. And any type of word vomit that you can come up with.
Yeah, just press that protective text button 5 times.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Are you stealing all of my Spanish now?
No, I'm flexing because I did it backwards.
Good for you. Keep on with your Duolingo. Also, Duolingo, sponsor us.
Please, please.
Yes, help us move up the charts. Anytime you leave words, it helps. I know that if you don't actually have the app, though, you know, sometimes they actually want you to pay money for such things, which is absurd. You can go to Audible, which we already know you do have a subscription to, and there we are, and there you can leave a review. So do that.
Word. If you want to help out the show and also get oodles of free noodles and other things, you can go to patreon.com/serviceentrancepeople. Become yourself a producer of this show. Producers at all levels get free merchandise from us, as well as access to bonus content, and whatever level that you are achieving in your producership, the goodies go up and up. Our executive producers, our Von Uppities, also get their names read at the end of every program.
If the full commitment is not for you, you can always go to PayPal at Service Entrance Peeps and leave a one-time donation, whether it be $1 or $1 million, as Boomer likes to say. Just the price of a cup of coffee really helps us out.
It does.
So do that, and we will also say your name so loving and tenderly.
We will love you and pet you and kiss you and call you Not George. Unless your name's George, in which case that is what we will call you.
You can also message us your stories for content producer credit. Please go to Facebook at Service Entrance People Podcast or Instagram at Service Entrance People Pod.
You can also long form wise send us an email at serviceentrancepeople@gmail.com, or you can leave us a voicemail. Just your spoken words. 854-345-7721. Something crazy went down on your shift. You need to vent it out as you're blowing back a quick cigarette break or on the way home. Call us. Vent to us. Let us be your very, very free form of therapy.
There's no one actually going to answer the phone, so don't have yourself a panic attack. You can just leave it, and we'll play it over the air.
It's basically like calling my father. He won't answer. I promise.
Just leave the voicemail.
Just leave the voicemail. We have thusly come to the part of our show that is the most delightful, the most overtly sponsorable segment of the show, I would say.
The most delectably sponsorable.
The most tasty, sponsorable segment of the show. It is time to lock the doors, crank up the tunes, and grab our Shifties of the Week. Pixie.
Yes?
Shift first.
Okay. My Shifty of the Week comes from Sierra Nevada Brewing Company. That's in Chico, California, and Mills River, North Carolina. What I am drinking is a Sunny Little Thing citrus wheat ale.
Wheat.
5% ABV.
Sunny little thing, just like you. Woo!
Oh, that's good. I love me a wheat.
You do love you a wheat.
It tastes like, it definitely has citrus, but I'm getting more orange than any other type of citrus, which is really nice.
Saved by the buoyancy of citrus.
What about you, Boomer?
Myself, I am going to the Wiseacre Brewing Company from Memphis, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Good listenership in Memphis and in all of Tennessee, by the way. So thank you, Tennessee.
You're the only 10 I see.
Aww.
Not you, I meant them.
I am about to open a tiny bomb American Pilsner. It is 4.5 alcohol by volume.
Is it safe to open a bomb indoors?
We shall find out.
Nice crack.
It's a tiny bomb, so it's all right.
Is it a flavor bomb?
It is a flavor bomb. That's a strong American Pilsner.
Oh.
Not in a negative way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a...
Can I ask you, what is the difference with a Pilsner anyway? Just out of curiosity. How, like compared to like a lager or a...
They're very similar to my palate, but I don't know.
Okay, then.
Maybe if we had a sponsor for this segment, we could have a beer person on here to tell me the difference.
Or I could just Google it.
You know what? Google can be left out of this for a moment. Okay.
Let's not break the mystery.
Seriously.
That being said, how about we get into this episode?
You know what, Pixie? I like your determination, like your can-do spirit, like that attitude. So let us jump in. Episode 37 in a row of Service Entrance People is entitled, I don't know if we'll have the time. Scheduling hell. Should be a delightful afternoon. Maybe we'll go to Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know. I don't know if we'll have the time.
Oh, my.
One of the delightful parts about being a service industry monkey is the vagaries of scheduling. From what I'm told, normal, air quotes, they're human beings, have jobs that have set hours of operation.
Like Mr. and Mrs. 9 to 5.
Exactly. We're into work at 9. We leave at 5. We're off on Saturday and Sunday. Rinse, repeat. Easy peasy. All of the lemons, all of the squeezy.
Happy hours from 4 to 6.
Got to get there. Big girl poor.
Mm-hmm.
But what if I only want half of a glass? Can I pay half the price? Which has been a thing.
Go back and listen to previous episodes.
For us in the service industry, in our particular restauranting industry, scheduling is like, well, it's like a small bomb. It's like a hurricane. It just blows you all over wherever the fuck it wants, and you hope to put the pieces back together afterwards.
Yeah.
There is no 9 to 5. There is no weekend.
There is no holiday.
There are no holidays. There's especially no holidays, except for like Christmas. You get the one. You get Christmas.
Yeah, that's about it.
Other than that, you're
But not if you're a Jew.
No.
Or if you're at an Asian restaurant.
True.
Because you better be open on Christmas.
But Asian restaurants are typically smart and have at least one day off a week every week, no matter what.
Yeah.
So they're already winning in that battle. By the way, it's all of the years that I had to work and do stuff in not my radio job, but, post radio.
Yes.
I was always the guy that was like, oh, December 24th, can anybody work, that night or do the I'm like, me?
Yeah.
Totally this guy right here.
I thought you were going to say this always happens to me. When you really want Asian food, and I'm always like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go to China Garden. And you go, and then it's closed. And it's always on the day that you want it that it's closed.
And it's always the opposite day because you think it's closed Monday, but it's really closed Tuesday or vice versa.
Yeah.
Or the worst part, there's 2 restaurants in this area that both you and I enjoy going to.
And they're closed opposing days.
And so there will absolutely be one of those days where I'll call you up and I'll be like, hey, you want to go get Asian food right now? Yeah, totally. And then we'll get screwed because it's the wrong
day.
one. Yeah. So anyway. Navigating a schedule when it comes to restauranting is a bit of a bitch.
Yeah.
And as somebody who's scheduled and been a scheduling manager for many, many years, it's a fucking headache.
It is. You have a lot of people who have secondary jobs. You have a lot of people who have children. You have, those servers or, other workers that need the hours. They just fucking need them.
Right.
So you got to schedule.
It's a very different, it seems, existence with them because we know, especially when it comes to the servers and stuff, transient.
Yep.
Move around a lot, from gig to gig to gig. Like you said, we kind of attract weird people that do other things that, are serving on the side, or single moms or single parents that can only work certain hours, try to make as much money as they can, go do the kids. It seems like it's a whole different beast from, again, your regular, I have a job, I go to my job these hours, and then I come home.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, you're also dealing with strange hours into the night and all of that when it comes to, your bar type stuff where you're working until closes at 1 a.m., and then you're home and it's 3:30 a.m., and then what are you going to do for getting up the next day?
God forbid that your restaurant does breakfast as well as lunch and dinner, and you only have 2 managers that you do open and close.
And regardless, 3-meal restaurants are just...
You're just mean.
Yeah, you're a special hell is what you are. But
have at least 4 managers if you're going to do that.
But it's tricky. It's legitimately tricky putting together a schedule when it comes to restauranting because you're moving all kinds of crazy pieces around, which makes trying to have some sort of set schedule and routine for as many human beings as you can, the number one luxury/priority for trying to schedule.
It's going to be your safety. You know that, as you like to say, Becky.
Yep.
Becky's going to be there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. She's always going to be there. She's going to work doubles Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You can count on Becky.
And then all the other days, no.
Nope.
Not even a little bit.
Peace out. Becky ain't going to be there.
Not even a buh.
Nope.
No Becky, no buh.
Because she's going to be working her other job.
Or nothing. Or she's just hanging out with her friends.
Or she's just getting high.
And it's really weird because, again, I don't see office managers that are like, okay, got to figure out everybody's schedule here. So let's see. Brenda, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Okay. Danny, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Ralph, Monday through Friday, I'm going to put him from starting at 9 and 5 will be his out time, I think. That's it. That's all that it is.
Yeah, you don't get okay, well, John's only going to work, John can only work noon to 5.
Yeah, that's...
I'm gonna put him on noon to 5 because he said that makes him the most comfortable.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
John doesn't like to wake up before noon.
When you're in a respectable profession, it doesn't happen. But it does for us, and it does for retail as well. Retail is the same thing. I should make sure that
it's all encompassing us service entrance people.
And you, Pixie, have been thoroughly kicked in your female nether region.
I have.
By a scheduling puta.
Yes. I like to call her La Puta Gorda.
Wait, her name's Gordon?
Yeah, sure. She's Gordon.
Okay.
She gave me quite the, how do the kids like to say it? A kick to the cunt.
That's descriptive.
Yes. She's just a wee bit above my station. And when I say just a wee bit, I mean just a fuzzy wuzzy wee bit. Not like I couldn't do her job if I was given the opportunity.
I should parenthetically say Pixie is about to get super, super angry and worked up. So just sit back, crack whatever shifty you're drinking right now, like I'm going to do, and just watch or listen and enjoy. Go, Pixie. Get indignant. I want to watch.
No, now that you said that, I'm like trying to be chill as my heart is racing out of my chest.
You know how rats get like beady eyes when they're about to like maw down on something?
They always have beady eyes.
But like especially beady?
You mean the hyper focus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Hey.
In a good way.
So this slightly higher above me puta decided not only was she not going to keep me doing my regular job, my normal day-to-day to which I was hired to do, she was going to put me as, wait for it,
a completely different job code?
A completely different job code, but not just that. In this industry, we have jobs where we just admit certain people are going to pull it off, right? They're the jobs that you're going to pay them a little bit more, but you know they're good. They're going to work hard, but it's a shit job no matter what way you slice it.
In television terms, if this was It's Always Sunny, they would be the Charlie jobs.
Yeah. So she decided to schedule me for one of those. So,
and your name is not Charlie.
It is not. So I was breaking my back because not only did she put me for this extra strenuous job, she did it on our busiest day. But wait for it, there's more. She also scheduled me to do it completely alone.
I will again pop in here to paint some extra details to this fine picture. The job you were being asked to do is a incredibly physical activity. And though you are a tough son of a bitch.
And a goddamn professional.
You also don't have bones that are properly affixed to their normal
places?
Beginning places.
Yeah, they also are riddled with holes now.
Yeah. So structurally, I don't want to say firm because that sounds like it's a, you know.
Structurally sound.
Those sort of structurally sound, they're also not.
Yes.
They're like that bridge that looked totally fine, and then when the wind started coming, it was flapping both ways and then just disintegrated.
It's like those houses, you know, on the beach where they're like, you really want concrete block for your foundation, and instead I was like,
I'll just build it up. I'll just put it on stilts.
I think I'm going to just keep it on wood, and it's okay that it's been here for, 40 years or more. I think that after it lasted the past 5 hurricanes, it can do 5 more.
Just throw stilts. It's fine.
It's fine.
Don't need the moorings.
However, I will say, like the goddamn professional I am.
I heard you were a professional.
Yeah. Even though it sent other people who came in later in the day to, assist and heard what I was doing and went pop-eyed over it, I still completed my job.
You did.
To the best of my ability and to the end of my shift.
It was fun seeing you get dragged physically to be put in your car because your legs had stopped working, and so they kind of got you by the underneath of the armpits and just sort of drug you and put you in there, put one foot each on the gas and on the brake and let you go. Thought that was cool.
Is that how that worked out?
That's what I saw.
Really?
I mean, can't tell me any different. You busted its ass, but you were just kind of, spent.
I was on autopilot for sure. But no, I didn't take physical people to assist me to my vehicle.
Or did it?
Stop trying to posit that, you asshole. I will say what adds salt to the wound, though, is that we have another coworker who just likes to chatter, just likes to jabber on there. And after a particularly hard day, I wanted my shifty. I felt I earned. After this shit job on a shit day, on the busiest day in the height of season, that I should get my shifty.
But instead you got jabba wookie wah.
Instead, he talked my bartender to the point where she couldn't pour my beer.
Because she physically left. Again, let me detail this picture. She physically stood in front of you, waiting to hear what beer you wanted her to pour. Jabber, 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 jibber, jabber, mumbo, jumbo.
And I gave up.
It wasn't you that gave up. She walked away before you gave up. You had the defeat in your eyes.
Yeah,
but then she was just like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to go and start cleaning.
Because she would have been there all night with jabber, jabber, jabber jaw.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It was a bad day for you.
It was a son of a bitch of a day.
No good, low down, dirty, bad day.
But I know that restaurant workers throughout the world...
Unite!
Yes, you know what job. You know what job she put me in. You know the job she thought she's definitely above, and she could watch me struggle and sweat and get filthy, miserable in the fucking hot sun, schlepping up and down a deck, in and out, through the kitchen, getting wet, steam in my eyes, that type of fucking job.
Told you you'd get there.
Yeah.
Told you you'd get there with the anger.
Well, you have scheduling stories. Let's hear yours.
All right.
Go ahead, regale us with the tale.
So for me, it's long been established on this program, I am a broken down individual. I am not put together even half as solidly as you are. I bleed out of places that I shouldn't bleed out of. My heart doesn't beat quite like heart should beat.
Yes, you're an elderly man. We know.
My blood doesn't pressure as pressure is supposed to. All of it. So I typically need to have...
Oh, wait. Can I interject for a second just to say she also didn't give me a meal break?
You never get a meal break, though.
But
I've seen you eat at work like 4 times.
Yeah, I know.
In the
But I
last
mean,
year
she
and a
could have
half.
at least offered a meal break, a pee break, a hydration break.
To be fair,
Yes.
if you got a meal break, it would have cut into her meal break. So
Oh, that's right.
I'm just saying there's a reason Gorda was putting
Gorda?
your derisive title of her. So when I come on to a new job,
Mhm.
restauranting wise or whatever, I do say, look, I do need back-to-back days off. I have conditions.
Basically, you need time for your body to fall apart.
Right. And I don't mean like conditional. I mean like my body, I have multiple conditions with my body. So I need a little, something. I was working at this restaurant, very, very fancy place. And dude that hired me was super fucking cool. He's like, yeah, no worries. We got you. Blah, 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 blah. Well, homeboy was there for like 3 weeks.
I got you until I leave.
And then bolted. And so myself and this other bitch were put in charge of everything that he was in charge of.
Mhm.
So we sort of tag teamed responsibilities. One of them that she took over was the scheduling, which at the time, I'm like fucking cool. Like I'd been scheduling at my other gig, and it was, trying to schedule 25 different people in different job codes 7 days a week. It does make you a little bit fucking crazy.
Mhm.
It truly does. So I'm like, cool, that's fine. So listen, the only thing I just need back-to-back. Don't care when, but please, I need that. Outside of that, don't care what hours I work, don't care what days, doesn't matter, just that. She thought that the democratic thing would be to try to get everybody in our little management type group and some of the servers, but not really because servers love weekends, to try to get us all a Friday, a Saturday, or a Sunday off for the quote-unquote weekend, which, as we said in the opener, as restaurant people, doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Weekends don't mean shit to us.
But if you want to party, those are like quote unquote party days.
Because the rest of the world...
Parties.
Right. But for us...
we party when we have to, when we can.
Yeah. Let's go get wrecked on Tuesday because I'm off on Wednesday. It does...
Yeah, that's just how it works.
It means nothing. They're arbitrary. So her thing was, well, we'll get every person 1 weekend day off and then 1 weekday off, which some people love the split days off.
Yeah.
They do. It works for them.
I don't get why, but yeah, I've heard it.
Well, for the folks that I know with management and chefs and all of that, it's about being gone for multiple days and I need to do certain things every day of the week, so I can't really miss 2 in a row, or I don't like missing 2 in a row because then I get behind and whatever.
Truth. You are out of the loop. This industry moves fast.
It does. And with ordering and with all of that stuff, sometimes it's just...
As we like to
there.
say, it's been a week today.
Right. Now, for me, I've always been able to do what I've needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, let the days off fall where they may. I just need the backs. So she decided that it was best for everybody to have one weekend and one weekday off, which other people, like I said, great. For me, was absolutely like, I can't. Like, I physically, like, I can't do it. And with having 2 weekdays off, which, again, is my preference, you can also do human being adult things, which we don't like to do in this business. We do this because we're not fully formed adults.
Like pay bills and things like that.
Go see doctors.
Yeah.
Whatnot.
Yeah.
Like things that are only open during the week, which is the one bad thing I would think about having the 9 to 5 is that your weekends are weekends. And so if you need to do shit and you're during the week, like, what the fuck? Like, I legitimately don't know what those people do.
They request a day off or an afternoon off.
Which is weird. And they probably get it too.
Yeah, I need to request from 1 to 3 off so I can make that doctor appointment.
No, I'm sorry. That's lunch. We need to work. We have lunch service, so you can't have that off.
Boy, it must be nice to be in a job where you actually get a lunch break.
Truth. There
like just 30 minutes to yourself to actually eat. Like,
office closed.
Not rush and hork your food down, but to chew and swallow.
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know either, man. I wouldn't know either.
Well, long story short, surprisingly, with these days off that were not in line with my bodily needs, I broke the fuck down so bad and so quickly that it was like I'm either going to miss an extended period of time or I need to just go somewhere else.
Oh, what the shit?
Yeah. And I wound up going somewhere else. It's,
She broke you.
I mean, not full on, but yeah. Fortunately, it was actually a better gig and a whole more money and all that. So, like, I landed on my feet kind of thing. But yeah, no, it was absolutely like, how can you not do this little simple thing? Doesn't matter. Can't do it, won't do it, not gonna do it. Cool. Peace the fuck out before I die.
So you did ask her then?
Oh, multiple times.
And you told her you didn't care about the weekends?
Nope.
And she still adamantly didn't give you 2 days back to back?
Well, apparently, for her, Saturday nights and Sunday mornings, there were lots going on. Mostly Saturday night, Sunday morning was more the recovery.
Oh, big things. Big things. Can't miss brunch.
Yeah. So there was a lot of that went on. That's how she started her scheduling, was with whatever of those 2 days were
what a twat.
And then kind of went out from there. So, that's fine. That's fine. I'm good.
Well, our shit aside, let's get into what other people have faced.
And we have actual, like, real people now with real problems outside of, oh my goodness, I have to work at work.
You people that we care about. We're going to read your stories and hear your troubles and tribulations and trials.
Mike from Georgia sends us this one. I worked at a well-known pizzeria in my city for a while when I was younger. Definitely put up with a fair amount of shit for the year and a half that I worked there.
Ooh.
Terrible managers, lazy coworkers for pretty much minimum wage.
Ugh.
A couple of months before I was planning to leave to go to school in a different city, they were having an issue with hiring and firing new people because they kept hiring anyone with a pulse, regardless of how many brain cells were between their ears.
I wouldn't know what that's like.
Funny doesn't sound like our industry. Fast forward to January. I had requested time off for spring break as I was planning to go surfing in California. Had the time approved in writing. That was that. Fast forward to March. They hired and fired 3 people in 1 week, so it became apparent that staffing was again an issue.
Damn, take him out back and shoot him.
Pow, pow. The schedule comes out the week I had requested off, and I was surprised to see myself on the schedule almost every single day. I approached the store manager with the schedule, my written approval time off request in my hand, and was like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
He then proceeded to tear up my request form in front of me and said, we don't have enough people right now. You're going to have to make some sacrifices. You're just going to have to deal with it.
Ah, fuck you.
Motherfucker, you. That week was 3 weeks before my scheduled trip. So I made a snap decision right then and there, replied, no, you're going to have to make the sacrifice. I'm giving you my 2 weeks. I've had this trip planned for months, and you can't even find it in yourself to ask me if it's okay to cancel my trip.
Mic drop.
Good for fucking you, man.
Yeah, know what you're worth.
The last 2 weeks were the smoothest I've ever worked there. Manager tried everything to get me to stay, and I kept saying no, while he decided, get this, to retaliate in strange and irritating ways. I'd had enough, and decided I'm not going in on my last day to close the shop. I'm starting my spring break a day early.
Good for you.
About 10 minutes into the start of my shift, I get a call from the manager asking where I was. So I tell him, oh, I'm on I-20 heading west right now. Well, when are you going to get here? Dude, if you haven't gotten it yet, I'm not coming in. He starts going off about how he's going to have to close and work extra, and he opened the store this morning, etc., etc., etc. I said to him, quote, sounds like you're going to have to make some sacrifices and just deal with it. Remember that?
Oh.
I'll be in when I get back to pick up my check in 2 weeks. Click.
Nice.
The end. Way to go, Mike.
Yeah, thanks for the write-in. That's amazing.
Baller.
I'd like to just add with thank you, Mike, because you also refreshed my memory. So the reason that La Puta Gorda actually did all this shit to me was because the scheduling that she was doing was so incoherent to all of the employees. I kept being asked why our schedule isn't set. Why don't we have regular days off? Why does the schedule come out the night before the week begins?
Why for art thou, Romeo?
Yeah, why for art thou working so hard for nothing, dumbass? So I said, okay, I'll try to fix it. And I tried to help her by making a mock-up schedule and showing her, look, it's not that hard. I did it in a couple minutes on my cell phone. So I submitted it to her with all the kindness and courtesy saying, I hope I'm not stepping on toes. I just wanted to make things easier for you.
Here's a possible as to maybe what we can do.
Yeah. And instead, she was like, you know
Fuck
what?
you, pretty boy!
She didn't even fuck a me. She didn't respond to the email at all. Like a coward. She decided the passive-aggressive puta thing to do was to just make me shove my nose in it and watch me sweat it out.
This week's episode is being brought to you by the scene in The Wedding Singer where Adam Sandler says, I have a microphone and you don't, so you will listen to every goddamn thing I have to say.
Or I will strangle you with my mic cord.
That is Pixie. Let her roar in numbers too big to ignore.
Yeah. All because I tried to help. How fucking dare I?
Well, you should stop doing that and read this last story.
Absolutely. This is Dan from Tennessee.
Told you we had fucking good listenership in Tennessee.
This is like the only one.
They
Whatever.
also have Wiseacre Brewing Company in Memphis out in Tennessee.
Alrighty. I like how we both chugged at the same time there. Dan says that he has a coworker in a worming factory.
Hold on.
Yes.
Okay. Worms.
Yes.
Like, do you like biscotti? Now you're biscuit
Biscuit
worms.
Yes.
Okay. Do they actually manufacture them? What type of factory makes worms? I am confused.
Will you let me continue?
I would love to. Let me shut the fuck up now. Hold on. I'm gonna go have a nice cup of shut the fuck up.
Aw, look at you drinking out your cup. Dan says that he works in the packing and shipping of worms for fish, bait, tackle, and reptile feeding.
And propane accessories.
Yes. He says that he was having trouble with his coworker following the simplest of instructions. After being reprimanded multiple times about cleaning her station, following proper procedure, etc., the summer had finally arrived, which meant Saturdays became mandatory days.
I heard Saturday's a heavy fishing day.
Yeah, well.
For all of those 9-to-5ers who have Saturdays and Sundays off, they go a-fishing.
Officially.
Hey, son, let's go down to the a-fishing hole. It's Saturday.
He says, apparently my coworker was confused about what the word mandatory actually meant, so...
That means strongly recommended?
Yeah, when she didn't show, she was shocked at being fired.
I feel shocked.
To which she cried and complained to weasel her way into just a write-up. However...
So she pulled the white girl speeding.
Yes.
Cool.
Oh my god, I didn't know.
Officer, bat, eyes.
I didn't know. No. It's more of a, what do you mean I did something illegal? But I didn't know it was illegal.
It must have been my breasts getting in the way. What do you think, officer?
All I know
I
is...
don't know how tits work, by
Yeah,
the way.
yeah.
I don't understand any of that.
To be perfectly frank, I'm usually like surprised when I get pulled over that I don't even have a chance to muster up tears.
Well, you also drive like a fucking speed demon.
I
so
do. I'm like,
You're surprised that they caught you. That's what that is. You're
Yeah,
surprised
yeah,
that
that's
they were
true.
able to physically catch up to
I
you to
actually
pull
got
you over.
I got stopped in PA once for going like 110, and I was like, seriously? My car was going that fast? I didn't think my car could go that fast.
She then high-fived the officer. They became best friends.
No.
His name's Bill.
Actually, my fine was like craze balls because he said that it was a reckless
Yeah, I was
endangerment.
gonna say that's reckless speeding. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like I was like, that's a thing?
You're so reckless.
Yeah, needless to say, he didn't let me get away with the ticket. Anyway, back to Dan's story. So she actually was able to get a write-up, and then the following Saturday failed to appear yet again in the hopes that tears would save her.
Well, you've established a pattern at this point.
Yes.
You've given her the in or
Yes.
out, I guess.
He said, we don't know if she's actually fired yet. However, 2 other employees have been terminated because of missing Saturdays. Only one, not multiples.
Again, Your Honor, I give you tits. They probably didn't have tits, or their tits were less good than Crybaby McNo-shows.
Well, Dan, I don't know. Tell us about your coworkers' tits.
Yeah. Could we, if, yet again, story blue balls here, guys. Finish the story.
Definitely hit us up if she's fired, though, because I want to know if tears actually can keep you on. I mean, I feel like that's something we should pass to our listenership.
I feel like working in a worm factory, you wouldn't have the out for tears as much. I feel like that's like more of a hardy job. Like, oh, you're crying, tough shit.
Yeah, I also
You know?
feel like it's just factory work. They're like, why are you... There's no crying in factory work.
Yeah. Pack these fucking worms in dirt.
Yeah.
That's it.
I worked at McCormick and Spice, and I gotta say, if I cried, there would just have been a bunch of really tough dudes looking at me like, why is this chick crying?
Yeah.
Stop it.
I mean, I haven't
Kind
done
of gross.
haven't done factory work. Worked at a loading dock though.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I feel the same sort
If
of
you
like...
cried, they would be like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Yeah. Well, if I cried, they'd be like, why are you crying again?
Yeah.
This is like the 3rd time today, Boomer. What is it?
My sweet spirit of a co-host.
And with my tears flowing down my cheeks into my big bushy beard, we say thank you for tuning in to episode 37 of Service Entrance People.
Yes, gracias.
I don't know if we'll have the time scheduling hell. If you enjoyed that episode, please do us a favor. Send us a 5-star rating with a review on any platform that you happen to be listening on. It helps, it helps, it helps, it helps. And while you're doing helpful things, go to patreon.com/serviceentrancepeople. Sign up to become a producer at any level, including an executive producer, so that way you can be just like
Our executive producers, Chris Moore and Chuck Cumberland.
Thank you both, gentlemen. And if you don't want to do a full-on year-round commitment on Patreon, you can go to our PayPal, which is Service Entrance Peeps Service Entrance Peeps. You can also become a content producer, just like
Our content producers, Chef Hope and Jeff Teal.
by sending us oodles and oodles of stories at serviceentrancepeople@gmail.com or Pixie.
You can hit us up on Facebook, Service Entrance People Podcast, or Instagram, because it's all meta baby, at Service Entrance People Pod.
DMs, who's in them? I don't know. Words.
People who love this podcast.
That's right.
Don't forget that we also have a TikTok now at Service Entrance PPL, and we also have, for our listening impaired, hearing impaired audience, I should say, we have a YouTube, which is at Service Entrance People.
I do recommend checking out our Courtney Gaines episode from 2 weeks ago. Mr. Malachi from Children of the Corn. We did bad reviews of movies that he was in. It took us a little bit extra to get that posted because the content-wise, we only had I had to edit it down basically from where it was to like just add an hour because that's all that our transcription will allow.
Oh, okay.
So it's 98% of the interview. You're not really missing anything. Just a few words here and there and our plugging at the end, I think. So.
Yeah.
Check that out. If you don't want to depend on the written word and you want to leave us a voicemail with a great story, you can leave us at 854-345-7721. Get yourself involved with the show that way.
Don't forget to tell everyone you know. Tell a friend, tell a stranger, tell your parents, scream it at a custodian or a cashier that they need to check out Service Entrance People podcast on any major platform. You can find us there.
Woo! Pixie, we've done the Lord's work here today.
Yeah, I feel good. I feel good about what we accomplished. I feel good I got my word vomit out.
You did. You vented some frustrations.
Mm-hmm.
You look much more relaxed.
I feel cleansed.
Yeah, like taking a good dump.
Ew. Good God, man.
I will, with that, salute and sign off. Thank you guys for putting up with our shit for another week. We will talk to you again next Wednesday, midnight, new episodes of Service Entrance People. I do appreciate you tuning in. I'm Boomer.
And I'm Pixie. Adios.